Hello, Cancers, and welcome to this, your September 1st through September 15th reading and predictions. Please excuse it if the first couple of seconds are a little bit glitchy. Working out a few knots in some new software that I'm using. Okay, for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And for those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome. If when we get to the end of this video, it has resonated deeply with you, please consider subscribing and giving the video a like. Okay, Cancers, let's get started. We are going to pull cards for 6 different areas of your life. I'm going to pull all of the cards here initially, get them all laid out. I do leave them sitting face down until I'm actually ready to read them, and then we're going to get into the actual reading portion of your video. I do not edit my videos, so what you see is what you get. I like to keep it real. So if I do manage to flip any of the cards out and they land underneath the table, that's always fun to watch as well. So let's get started. Cancer, where are you at now? I'm turning this way so that the cards don't fly under the table. All right. Where are the Cancers at now? What's going on with Cancer here as I'm recording this video at the end of August 2023? How's everyone feeling, by the way? As I'm recording this video, we are sitting under the energy of a full super blue moon. That is a mouthful, but it is also bringing in some pretty powerful, crazy energies for everybody. I have talked to some of my other friends and associates, and they've let me know that they are experiencing some physical symptoms as well as, psychological and emotional symptoms, including feeling a little bit more raw than normal. Some people who are susceptible to migraines are experiencing some migraines under this particular moon. So yeah, I would love to hear it, Cancer. If you want to pop a comment in and let me know how you're feeling under a super blue moon. Kind of a rare occurrence, really. Okay, let's have a look at what you are focusing on. Wow. Okay. Is there anything else that Cancer's focusing on? Yes. Okay, we have 5 or 6 cards out already, and I'm only halfway through the deck. Let's see if there's anything else coming out for Cancer for what they're focusing on for the first half of September. Nope, doesn't look like there's anything else. So we'll get those cards collected up. Those, and that one, and that one. Okay, actually there's 4 cards here, so we will sit them face down. Okay, we're going to look at what is challenging you, or also known as difficult influences. I will try and face the camera, but might have to just move back here a little bit. Okay. Challenges and difficult influences. There's one card out. It almost went under the table. There's another card out. Challenges and difficult influences. Okay, that's not too bad. There's only 2 cards here. We'll turn them over in a few moments and see which cards you've received. The next category that I'm going to pull for you, Cancer, is messages that you need to hear at this time. Messages that Cancer needs to hear at this time for the first half of September 2023. Okay, we've got 3 messages that have come out. Let's get those where they belong. All right. Where are we going for unexpected? Oh, I'm being called towards 2 different decks. Okay. I think that we were going to actually pull cards from 2 different decks for your unexpected here, Cancer. In my mind's eye, I saw 2 different types of cards. So let's see what comes out for you. I know I saw one from this deck, so let's go through. There we go. There's the one card that I saw. Because I did just see one card coming out from this particular deck. Yeah. And then I saw a card from this deck over here, the Angels and Ancestors. So, unexpected. Okay. All right. Cards, where are we going for the final general overall outcome? Going back over to the traditional tarot again. All right, we're about ready to get started on actually reading your cards here. So let's get started. Cancer. Okay. So the card that we have for, as your very first card in your reading is the participation card. This card corresponds to the Four of Wands, also known as the Four of Fire. And this is a card indicating that it is time to step up and step into whatever it is that you have been working on, that you have been manifesting. This is an action card, and this is a card indicating that it is definitely time to be taking action in the physical world. So no matter what it is that you were working towards manifesting, you've planted the seeds by way of your thoughts. We all know that thoughts are energy. Everything is energy. Everything that we see around us began with a thought. And that's the form of planting the seeds, the way that we plant seeds in the spring. And eventually we get to that point where if the intention is to, for example, manifest a new job, part of manifesting a new job is figuring out which job we want. We do that with our thoughts, and then we get to the point where we need to actually get the resume written and get it sent out to the companies that we're interested in working for. Okay, that is part of the participation, and so this is coming up that this is where you're at. And it's not just about working career. This is also about if you want to, for example, manifest a new partner. You can't just sit at home going, oh, I want a new partner. Okay. You have to actually physically participate and put yourself out there. It's the same thing if you are trying to heal. If you are experiencing psychological pain, emotional pain, physical pain, if all you are doing is sitting at home going, I want to feel better, we all want to feel better. But when we're putting that out there, I want to feel better, what the universe is saying, right, because you feel crappy, so I'm going to give you more of feeling crappy. And instead, what we actually need to do is get off the couch and get out there, put ourselves out there, participate. Okay. So that is what I'm picking up where you are at right now, Cancer. This is a card of call to action. The time frame, the window of opportunity for doing the thought processes is past. You've got that picture of what you want, and it's time to go out and grab the bull by the horns and start actually participating. In what you are focusing on, you have the Nine of Winter, which is also known as the Nine of Wands. This is the card of catastrophism. And both in this deck as well as in the traditional tarot deck, this card is represented by somebody who is awake in bed in the middle of the night, and what's going through their mind is, worst case scenario, worst case scenario. Okay. And so if this, as we mentioned already, with this card, and like I said, I don't see these cards until I'm actually ready to read them, but as I mentioned with this card, everything begins with a thought. Our thoughts create our reality. We're all familiar with that. We all understand that. And so if you have the Nine of Winter here in your what you are focusing on, and what you're focusing on is lying awake in bed at night, catastrophizing, going, oh my God, worst case scenario, oh no, oh no, then the universe is going to go, oh, they must want more of that. Here, we'll just sprinkle a little bit more of that on them. Okay. Right next to it's like you have a split happening here, Cancer, because right next to this card, your card of catastrophism, you have the Dreamer. This is the Fool. This is the card that is all about new beginnings, beginning a new cycle with that excitement, that naivety, that childlike wonder. That's what this card is about. And this is one of the things that you're focusing on here at the beginning of September. Starting something new. When you're starting something new, you're going to want to be putting it out there of positivity and excitement. And like I said, childlike wonder. You don't want to be putting this Nine of Winter out there. Right next to the Dreamer, you have the Nine of Summer. Nine of Summer corresponds to the Nine of Cups. This is the card of dreams come true. This is a wish fulfilled card. If you are putting something new out there, right, and starting this new cycle and this new project with this Dreamer card, with the Nine of Summer right next to it, that is super positive. You also have the Five of Summer here, the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is the card of, so whenever we see the fives come up in the tarot, the fives are all about being put at a crossroads where you're almost being tested about whether the path that you've chosen is the right one. So you're going to get thrown a curveball usually at this time. And so this is the card of there is a reason for everything. So as you're going through this phase of getting out of a stuck place and fully stepping up and participating in a new cycle and something, a new project, something new and exciting, where this card is indicating, you know, wishes do come true. There's likely to be at some point, September 1st through September 15th, which is the time frame for this reading, there's likely to be a little curveball that's going to get thrown at you where you're going to go, oh, geez, did I make the right choice? Just remember that this card is that test, okay? Nothing more. The curveball that you are being thrown is just that. It's a curveball. It's a test. It's not an indication that you have chosen unwisely. It's just the universe saying, are you sure this is what you want to be doing? Okay. Yeah. I do want to say with this Five of Summer as well, it sometimes has a similar meaning to the Nine of Wands or the Nine of Swords, which is the Nine of Winter here, wherein you're tempted to begin to focus your thoughts on the negative because you get thrown this curveball or this little test. It's a speed bump in the road. It's not a roadblock by any means. It's a speed bump. And when you get thrown that speed bump, you're actually being tested in your thoughts and your mind as well. Okay, so just have the heads up that as you're beginning this new process, the universe wants you to know good things are coming your way, but you're going to have to, in some ways, control your mind and control your thoughts and keep your thoughts on the saying that's coming to mind, keep your eye on the prize. Keep your thoughts on the prize, on the end result, on the goal that you're choosing to achieve. That's essentially what these cards are saying. And you know, this nine, having the nine of winter on one end, you've also got, I want to point out another nine here. 3 6s and 9s are rather important numbers, as we know if we know anything about numerology. But you've got the 2 9s here, and you know, on the outside, you've got an indication that this new project that you're stepping up into, that you are going to be participating in, if you don't have the ability to stay positive and keep your eye on the prize and keep your thoughts on the end goal that you are hoping to achieve, then you're going to be tossed these curveballs and these little tests. Okay, let's look into difficult influences and challenges. Okay, you've got cards of opposite meanings here. Okay, you've got the Death card, which is interesting to me. When we are going to be stepping into the Zero card, which is the Dreamer, also known as the Fool, it is always about starting something new, starting a new cycle, starting a new project, something like that. So it stands to reason that there is going to be a Death card somewhere in your reading. The Death card is a card of metamorphosis. It is a card of leaving the past behind and saying, no, I am so over you. I'm so done. Whether this be a career choice or a choice in relationship, whether this be just, I want to say for some of you, Cancer, this is just you guys waking up to the true integration that everything is energy and our thoughts become our reality. Okay. That is something that many of us have heard over the past probably 7 years or so. That's when your thoughts become your reality really went full on mainstream. And so many of us have heard it, but the vast majority out there still haven't integrated that into their psyches. And I'm really sensing for you, Cancer, that this Death card coming up, this participation card, the new beginning card with this Dreamer here, is you fully integrating what those words mean. And when you do that, part of your old belief system is going to die, right? It's not that you are dying. The Death card in no way represents physical death of our physical body. What it does represent is the death of a belief system, the death of the way that we were looking at the world. Okay, and so that's coming up in your challenges. And it stands to reason that this would be in your challenges or difficult influences, because letting go of the past isn't always easy. But right next to it, you have the Four of Wands. Didn't you already have this card? Uh-huh. Your very first card is the card that corresponds to the Four of Wands, just from a different deck. And now you have the Four of Wands again. So what this is telling me is that right now, here at the end of August, as I record this video, you are being called towards being more participatory in your life, right? Stepping up, stepping in, and yet it's also challenging you to step up and step into that. Now, in this particular deck, which is the traditional tarot, the Four of Wands also represents just being positive, right? Why? Because our thoughts create our reality when we're going out and into the world with a lot of positive thoughts, then that gets reflected back to us. What's coming to mind for me to share with you right now, Cancer, is if you go out into the world to go do your grocery shopping, for example, and you go into the store with a frown on your face, what are you greeted with? More frowning people. And yet, if you smile at people in a grocery store, they will smile back. So what you put out into the world is what you get back. And you've got a double confirmation of that with 2 4 of Wands here. What you put out, you get back. Let's have a look at your messages that you need to hear at this time. Be of service. Be of service. All right. Help out your fellow human beings. I want to point out that in recording these videos for early September, you are at least the third zodiac sign to receive this particular card. That is telling me that on a collective level, there are millions of us around the world that need to step up into the role of being of service to our fellow human beings. Patience is a virtue. Cancer, messages that you need to hear at this time. I don't think I can expand on this card. Patience is a virtue. And the final card, and I'm having trouble getting them to focus, is be yourself. Did that focus? There we go. Be yourself. All right. Let's have a look at what is unexpected for you. Okay, you have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a card of choice. You have a choice that you need to make. Now, you'll notice that the character on this particular card is holding two swords, indicating that they have a choice to make between which sword to use. But unfortunately, they have been blindfolded. We have the card here called the Dreamer. This is the beginning of a new cycle, stepping out. It's the card of childlike wonder, and it's the card of naivety. Beginning something new. You're going to be presented with a choice, and you're going to have to make that choice from a place of blind faith. Why is it blind faith? Because you're stepping into something that's brand new, Cancer. You have confirmation of this particular card coming in right now. Be of service. You have the Trader card. And the Trader, not traitor with a T, this is the Trader with a D. Okay, indicating that in order for you to achieve the abundance that you want to or wish to manifest in your life, you have to understand the universal laws of exchange. Everything is exchange of energy. The money is energy. And it's the exchange of energy that creates more abundance. So when we understand that when we are being of service to our fellow man, what we are actually doing is creating what may be referred to as good karma to be able to bring more abundance into our lives. Exchange energy to create abundance is the message on this card in your unexpected. So this is coming in your unexpected, but really what this is for you, Cancer, is a reminder that as you are stepping into this dreamlike world that you wish to create, as you're stepping into this new reality, this new cycle that you've created, as you are leaving your past and past beliefs behind and you're stepping into actually participating and stepping out and stepping forward with these 2 4s here, you're going to have to step out with some blind faith, and you're going to have to practice this exchange for the purposes of creating the new life that you want now. I love it when we have cards that come out from different decks that confirm another card in the reading. So as I already mentioned, the Trader card corresponds to this card, Be of Service, right? They both have a similar meaning. And now you have the Death card here in your challenges, and in your unexpected you have the Snake. The snake is also represented in many tarot decks, including tarot decks that are animals only. The Death card is represented by the snake. Why? Because it represents leaving our skin behind so that we can grow. The only way that snakes get bigger is if they shed their old skin. And it's the same for us. We need to shed our old beliefs in order for us to be able to grow and thrive. And Cancer, this is your double confirmation of that by having both the Death card as well as the Snake card in your reading here for the first half of September. Let's move into your final general overall outcome. You have the Moon card and you have the Eight of Pentacles card. Okay. So the Moon card is a card of intuition. It's a card of pay attention to your dreams. It's a card of opposites as well, because the moon is two-sided, right? The moon has her light side and her dark side, which means that as you're stepping through, remember I mentioned there's kind of this create this good karma with this Be of Service here and this Trader card. Okay, and again, you're being given the message of karma here with the dark side and the light side. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The Moon card also represents cycles, and it can indicate the ending of a cycle. Well, you also have a card here indicating that there is a cycle that is ending with this dreamer, because the dreamer represents a new cycle. You have the Death card, the ending of a cycle. You have the Snake card, the ending of something. So, and now you have the Moon card reminding you that everything that we experience comes and goes in cycles, right? And I think that we talked about this as well with these cycles by way of the participation card. Oh yeah, and your blind faith card. But the only caveat to having the Moon card in your outcome card is the Moon card can indicate that the universe is going to throw someone up in your path that may not be acting honestly and in good faith. They're there to test you and test your resolve as you walk into this new path and this new journey. As you let go of the old, the Moon card may indicate that someone is going to pop up around the middle of September and kind of test you a little bit. And we're not really surprised to see this, because with this Two of Swords here, as well as this Five of Cups here, you do have an indication here that at some point during the first 2 weeks of September, your direction and your call to action may be challenged by someone. But remember, it's just a cycle, it's a test, it's the universe saying, are you sure this is what you want to do? Okay. And the final card in your reading is the card of Eight of Pentacles. It's the card of craftsmanship. It's the card of when you finally make up your mind to walk a certain path, you will become the master craftsman of that path. You will become the expert on that path. You will become that respected person that people look up to and come to for the purposes of whatever it is that you've put out there that you want to be doing. Okay, Cancer? Beautiful cards. Thank you so much for being here. As I mentioned at the beginning, if this resonated with you deeply, consider giving the video a like and subscribing to my channel. And please allow me the honor of doing your next reading in the middle of September. Thank you.